3 things I wish I knew before riding my first motorcycle. Your motorcycle is going to attract middle-aged dudes like a moth to a flame. And on top of the unks that this thing attracts, you're also going to get approached by a lot of, younger kids who think your bike's cool, or other riders out there, because, it's one big community and Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, your bike's also going to attract a ton of girls, dude. Yeah, in your dreams, that's actually not the case at all. Like I said, your bike's going to attract a lot of 50-year-old guys. Girls do not care about bikes. All that stuff you see on social media, for the most part, is staged. So get that out of your head, not a reason to buy a motorcycle. Honestly, that attention your bike's going to gather from other people who think that the hobby you care and love so much is also sweet is a lot of fun. The next thing I wish I knew was how frickin' windy it is, bro. Whenever I think about wind and how it affects you on a motorcycle, I think back to my very first time going on the highway. I'm trying to take my little Ninja 400 out there, and I'm freaking holding onto the handlebars for dear life because it feels like the wind's trying to throw me off my bike. And every time a semi passes you, you get a good jolt and it pushes you to the other lane. It is crazy. But it's honestly nothing bad. That's one of those things you just got to get used to, and you learn how to deal with it over time. And it's honestly part of what makes riding on the highway so much fun. Third thing I wish I knew before riding my first motorcycle, or I guess in this case it would be getting my first bike, is how expensive gear is. I think when a lot of people are looking at getting a motorcycle, all they do is really look at the sticker tag on the bike and think it's not too bad because, typically it isn't, especially if you're looking at getting something used. But when it comes to getting gear and all the extra stuff you need for your motorcycle, it's really expensive, man. I mean, if you want to get a good, reliable set of gear, helmet to boots, it's pretty pricey. I mean, you're probably going to be spending close to $1,000 if you get good stuff. On top of gear alone, you also have to pay for insurance. You have to pay for the materials and supplies it takes to make sure you can maintain your bike, like, chain lube and chain cleaner. You're going to have to buy oil for oil changes and oil filters every 3,000 miles. And trust me, you're going to want to do that at home. Oil and oil filters aren't cheap, but it's a lot cheaper than taking your bike to the dealership. And of course, I wasn't surprised that there were going to be added costs for gear and insurance, things like that. I was just a little bit surprised with how much this would all cost. But it's totally worth it because riding is so much fun. Those are 3 things I wish I knew before riding and getting my first motorcycle.